greedy HST tax grab kicking in. Already, a senior McGuinty Liberal is softening the ground for you to increase the HST from 13 to 15%. Dalton McGuinty's former strategic advisor, Andrew Steele, praises the NDP in Nova Scotia for hiking the HST by 2%, calling it, and I quote, fiscally prudent. We always knew you were addicted to increasing taxes, but when were you going to tell Ontario families of your secret plan to hike the HST?
That'll be after the election.
Minister?
Wow. It's a Tory story.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased that on January 1st, personal taxes in Ontario were cut. Mr. Speaker, I am pleased that on July 1st of this year, the capital tax will be eliminated, Mr. Speaker. I am pleased, Mr. Speaker, that on July the 1st of this year, the tax on manufacturers and processors will be cut from 12 to 10%, Mr. Speaker. I am pleased that the general corporate tax rate will be cut from some 14% to 10% by 2013, Mr. Speaker. I am pleased that the Conservatives' leading expert at last year's budget hearings said that our policy will create 600,000 jobs in the next 10 years, Mr. Speaker. I can't account for why the NDP would raise the HST.
Thank you. Supplementary.
I'm just counting all those jobs, Minister. Even if the minister says he won't hike the HST, you've got to read the fine print, because one-time Director of Strategic Research and Policy for that party is already out there floating the idea of an HST rate hike. The McGuinty Liberals advisor calls Nova Scotia's NDP Premier smart for running a deficit, raising taxes, cutting government. Wow. You're going to increase the HST to 15%, aren't you, Acting Premier? Are you raising the HST, A, to be able to pay secret salaries of LIN bureaucrats, or B, so you don't have to get control over runaway spending on e-health and LIN consultants, or C, so you can keep subsidizing foreign countries, or all of the above?
Minister?
Why won't the Tories commit to undoing the HST, Mr. Speaker? I think that's the mystery question that all Ontarians have. What is your position? Are you going to leave it in place? I think they are, Mr. Speaker, because they haven't said anything to the contrary. Look, I can't account for why the NDP would raise the HST in Nova Scotia. I don't understand.
The members were doing extremely well through the first half of question period, but the noise level has accelerated, and I would just like it decreased. Minister?
Well, Mr. Speaker, the Tories won't say what they'll do. Their federal brethren are voting for it. They gave us $4 billion to do it. Their expert says it's the right tax policy. They said it was the right tax policy before we did it. Mr. Speaker, we've laid out a plan. We've seen 100,000 net new jobs since last May, 1.6% growth in GDP the fourth quarter. Things are getting...
New question, the member from Parkdale High Park.
My question is to the Minister of Transportation. Speaker, in its recent budget, the McGuinty Government